Okay, welcome to this week's Build and Chill. We're going to be focusing on getting the Fall Guys space a little closer to completion. But we'll be doing mostly things we did in the workshop for this. But I also want to look at creating our own skybox. And figuring out how to do that. I have some different ideas in regards to creating a more toon-based skybox, so we'll be looking at that, as well as just texturing and continuing that. So, let's get into it. Alright, so here we are from the workshop. The first half is kind of done, very colourful. We actually need to get rid of our lighting, well, anyway, our green light, because that isn't used. And notice how when you deleted it, the light is still there, and that's because it is baked. So we'll need to redo the lighting at some point, but we'll probably add or adjust some of the other elements of the space before doing that. I also want to play with the glass and make this a little bit more something. That's what we want. So, as noted, fade is... fade sort of is a less complex version of transparent. It does a few more things, so we actually probably want that for the most part. That said, I do probably want this to be a little bit more solid. So I'm going to do that as well. So that works. Alright, cool. The first thing I'm going to do is keep on with the texturing while I start researching how to do skyboxes. So I'll do that separate. So basically that would be a blender. Nope. Blender to do 360-degree camera. Render, I guess. And I think that's it.
Hi everyone,
Okay, so there's a 6-minute tutorial on how to do that. So I'll look at that a bit later. But first, we need to do this to blue, which is tile square 1 meter. So let's have a look at that. Tile square break. This one? Nope. Did that. Didn't use that one, so I don't need to do that. Where? Where is it? Okay. This one. So tile square, and the thing is 1 meter and 1 meter break. Ah, okay. So it is that one actually. The other option, and this actually, let's do this. So, sometimes when you create something, you might modify it, or you forget where you placed it, or all the rest of it. So it is actually possible to import the FBX itself from the Unity file, and then just use that directly. So I've actually needed to do that a couple of times, so we can definitely look at that now, which is this one. Just leave that as all default and import. Ah, there it is there. So let's get rid of that. Get rid of those, and then we get this one. So there we go. That's another way to find it. I think... Okay, let's get rid of them. Is it two different ones? Nope, it's two. Interesting. So old H will unhide everything. And depending on which mode you're in, it'll do that. Now, the armature one, unfortunately with armature, so that's, armature basically is bones and stuff. So if you've made a parent object to a thing, an asset, the armature, or the rig, I guess you could say, will be shown, but that doesn't automatically hide this one, to my knowledge. So sometimes you'll have to open up the parent and do that. Okay. I'm actually not sure as to why it's only one. So, bit of a loss on that one. Interesting. So we may need to, oh no. We may need it again? What? Did I delete the original? Like what? Those are different for some reason. So what I need to do, and this is interesting as well, so I need to go into the original and see if the assets, so we got tile 1 and the mesh is that as well. So what I might try and do, and I don't know if this is going to work at all, is create it again. Name it exactly the same as this, and see if it updates our prefab. If not, we can just probably modify our prefab directly, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah. So if I double click that, so we've got that and that, which is easy enough. So that's less of a problem. But yeah, that's an interesting one. So, let's do that. So let's duplicate this one. Basically L size. called break. Nope, break 1. Okay. Okay, so those two are now named the same. I'm going to scale that down. Yep, nope, just make sure I got the right one. Scale that down. And then... okay. Scale that on the X. And then scale that on the Y. So that the depth is pretty much the same, like so. Now notice how the scale here is incorrect. So in that case, I need to do the Control-Alt situation with, and then that'll be 111, which is what we want when we're doing these things. So what we need to do is I'm going to select, I'm going to hide that because this is all we need. And I'm actually going to make sure this one is all transformed as well, because we're going to unwrap it. No, Smart UV project it in this mode. Now in this case, we kind of want it just to be blue. Done. Now note, even though I've selected 2, it doesn't do it on this one. And that's actually because it's the wrong base. So if we do that, that is also works. Alright. So let's give this a shot and see if this is going to work. So we need to export this as tile_square, and then those two will be the same, and those two will hopefully be the same. So let's see if this works. Because I don't know. So selected objects and apply the transform. Then we need to go to our assets here, models, and then we can actually use the same one here. Export FBX. Okay. Alright. Interesting. And also, excellent. Now, these won't update because, well, basically because they're already in the space. So if I apply the material to the model, but there are assets in the space, that won't work. So you can either update it afterwards, and then it will work fine. So that works. Now this is the prefab. So this might make things a little too easy in that I might be able to actually understand it now. But we will have to either remake them or I could just... I think I actually have to... Actually, let me try one thing. Yeah. So I'm going to delete all of these, and then I'm just going to actually make it. Because there's a lot extra in here that are animated, and they might have the original broken tiles, which we don't want. So I'm just going to clear all these. Get rid of the broken, and then put this on it. and then we can duplicate as needed. That said, this does need to have a box collider, which it does. The animator we can remove, actually. And then we can actually just get rid of these as well. So we just deleted the models inside them. We didn't delete the parent. That's on the other side. So let's delete those. Grab this. Hold and shift to snap. Snapping saves a lot of time. So if you can design your assets to work with snap, it's great. And I think just to be sure, so it all lines up, unless let's try and snap this. Yeah, okay, sure. Past me is better at this than I thought. Now I would like to, if I was going to release this, I would look into the approach of hiding different tile sets of this, so the path is not always the same. So I would do that somewhere, somehow, and I won't say how. The players would run through something somewhere. And it would be completely random in that it's not just in front of it, it could be anything. And then whoever runs through that, and thinking about it, you wouldn't have it constantly changing, because then anyone who's on it will fall, which is not what you want. So you'd have to do it so that it only changes once, to kind of a random parameter. And this is why we need a random parameter in Reactor. So we could just go randomize between, say, 5 different layouts, and you don't know which one it is. So when you get to it, it's always going to be a different setting. So people who've played this space before and want to play with their friends won't know necessarily which one it might be. So I'd like to do that. But for the purposes of this argument, this is not going to be... I might do it later, sort of thing. The problem with that one, and I think I started trying it, is that the... if you have like nested animators, the parent animator might cancel the second animator set, or vice versa. I want to do a test where I want to put I want to put a clear game object between those two animators. So I have an asset with an animation, and then assets under that. The assets under that have animators as well, and then this and this will not play well together. So I have to figure out what that is. But if I had an animator on this one, game object, and then animators in that one, I'm wondering if that game object will sort of reset any complications there. So I'm going to have to play with that. But that's, once again, something I'll probably do off stream on the grounds that it's a bit of a mess. It's the technical term. Okay. So when it comes to spaces, it turns out that most of it comes down to naming conventions. So if your assets are named the same here and saved out as the same file name, it will update those files correctly in Unity, which is great. So let's saved a bit of time on that. Now, I've forgotten like all. Is it a ramp? Hang on. So that is a bridge that is literally called bridge. Is it not in here? I don't think so. So here are called ramp. Bridge ramp. Okay. Right. So this is the file name, and this is the mesh name. So I need to save it bridge underscore 3 meters. But first we need to unwrap it. So let's do... How can we do this? Let's do just an unwrap. Do we want the ramp? No, we kind of want it here. So, Control R, put that up there. So you sort of have that there. And we'll probably do it here as well. And that means we need to unwrap these ends here. No. So mark seam. Okay. So, once again, we need to apply the right material, which is that one. Looks kind of cool. Now I need this to be blue, actually, so let's press tab, select all of these, and we're going to use project on that one. Now we sort of want this to be blue, so put that there. Yep. We want these to, like, literally just be blue. So I can project that as well. Put that in there. And we kind of want this. Let's project this one as well and see how that tiles. Well, not tiles, but displays. Probably this one. So notice how it's projecting straight down, which kind of works. So it really kind of depends on if you want it to wrap or if... And I think I do, to be honest. So I'm going to mark scene, Control L, unwrap. And then we have that. So then we can go rotate and scale that down. Now, note in a previous stream, I note that it's best to try and put the seam somewhere that you can't see it, basically, because then you can fix that problem. Make it a bit bigger. Might actually want to clean this up this time. So I'm just going to do that and that. That and that. Okay. Now we scaled those, and we don't want to. So I can sort of make them a bit more that. And then make them blue. Or red. I think red. There we go. Simple trim sheets. Do we want more? I think we actually do. So 3 to go to that, and then I'm just going to scale that up a bit to maybe that. And that looks a lot better. Yeah, much better. Okay, cool. So what was it? We need to name it exactly, which was bridge _ 3 meters. Let's control alt that. See how that goes. Note that sometimes you might, if you didn't do an apply transform on the previous version and imported it, and then you apply a transform later to re-import it, that will break a few things. But once again, you could go into the prefab and then edit that like manually. So there's that. The other thing that helps, because I keep forgetting today, you actually have the files here. So as long as the mesh itself is named the same, which was ramp 3 meters, but the file name is what is being used, that will also work. So let's go like that. And there we go. We've got our bridges. Now, if I recall, these are not prefabs, as in, nope, that's a, hang on, where are they? Here. So this is static and a prefab, like, because it's the blue box. But if you look at these ones, these are not. So I'm actually going to grab this and duplicate it, and then basically put it up here. F to focus on it. And then we can put this here. So once again, if we update the original somehow, this will also be updated. Man, Snap is so good. Done. Okay. Now I can do the fans. Just the only fans. Let's grab these. What's going on here? So these are way up here. Yeah, let's just grab all 3. Duplicate those. All the way down the bottom. Okay. So these 3, cool, need to be here. Yeah, excellent. Now I'm kind of feeling that we need to do, like, the red is the between. Kinda, so maybe we want to set that to blue as well. So you have, like, red and yellow as baseline, like, just run around between spaces. And then blue and purple is the space. So that would be... I think that would be a good way to do it. We'd have to add to here to sort of finish these sections. So there's that approach. And once again, that's just more on like game design or scene environment design, where you want to create a flow and understanding of how things work. So color can help you guide a user how you see fit. So where can they run, what areas are safe, what areas are not safe, what areas are interactive. There's a lot of that sort of stuff that you can do. So I might keep that in mind moving forward as we make our fan. Now these are 4s. Okay, cool. Now let's do some cool stuff with this one, I think, in comparison to everything else which is not cool. Right. So once again, this is kind of a mess of a texture. So we're gonna once again unwrap this one. So for this, I'm actually holding down Alt and Shift to sort of select the edge loop and combine it with the ones that are already selected. So Shift will add, Alt will... I think that's how it works. One of the two. So yeah, basically we're going to be doing all of these sort of at the same time. So if I go right mouse click, mark seam, all done. And then we can do these two as well. Just make sure that all of the lines have, because when you unwrap it, like the ones that are not will be a bit messed up because it'll still be joined. So yeah, keep that in mind for that. And then you can select it all and go unwrap, and then you'll get this. So this is a good example where you're not unwrapping everything. So what's happening is this is all connected, that's why. So now if you want to, if you have a more complicated mesh, so this is actually pretty tricky, you can use this arrow and then try and figure out what the problem is. So if I select thing here, it will show me what region is problematic. So that I will use this mode sometimes in order to, say, select something in here to find out where it is here, or select something in here to find something in here. That said, this is an easier asset, so I can just select the things that need to be seamed. Like so. So when you grab it all again and go unwrap, nice and clean. So these are the sides, these are the tops, and this is everything else. Now this doesn't work as well as we'd probably like. Now we could... Yeah, okay, so I was looking at this and maybe I would want to delete that, but people fall down and sometimes they'll look up. So I'm going to keep those so it actually looks like a complete asset for that reason. Okay. Now, in our cases, all of our assets are that way. So I'm going to rotate those to here. The top and bottom, I'm probably going to make solid. Oops. Let's do this. So this one will select the island, or the shell, as someone so kindly told me yesterday. Depending on which asset, because game development have no standards, which is really quite frustrating. Okay. So we need to sort of get these in the blue area, or the purple area. So let's do purple on this one. So I've got one. I'm going to scale that down a bit, just so we can sort of see. Now, if I want to, I might need to, yeah, and then blue on top, I think. So on some of these, I will actually need to just move them down. So G, Y. Like so. And I'll need to do the same with this as well. Now, because there's a lot of these, I'm actually probably going to quickly overlap a lot of them and then do this like all together. So let's do that. Okay. What we could do, actually, let's see how it goes. Yeah. This will make things a lot easier, so I'm just going to do that. May look a little janky, some of these, but I'm okay with that. So let's get all the bottom ones, align Y, and all the top ones, align Y. There we go. That's great. Now, the next thing we need to do is grab the tops, and we just want them to be blue, I think. So let's get that one. Now these ones don't matter as much, so let's just plonk them down here. Now the other question is, do we want to mix these up a bit? So yes, I think we do. So once again, this might be you can't get the whole thing. So, Control L to grab the whole asset. And make that blue. That was under. And then we need this one. Control L to select all of that model space, I guess you could say. Alright, we have our fan. Now the last one, the yellow one, we could actually probably do that just as yellow, because that kind of looks pretty cool. So let's grab all of those and just move them a bit, scale them a bit, and then we've got yellow. The question is, do we want a loop around it? Kinda. So what I might try, we'll give it a shot. I'm going to mark seam here. And then grab all of that, turn that off, and then go unwrap. And that works. Rotate that. Scale that down. Maybe a bit bigger. And that's exactly what we want. Now, the only catch is that seam, which we could actually clean up just by doing that. Put it above there. And then we have our asset. Awesome blades. Okay. Let's confirm the file name of this one, which was fan4. Cool. Once again, forgot again, I can just save over the top of it. Export. There we go. We have our fans. Last couple of sections, I guess. So I've got these things, and I want to sort of put like the radius, like warning rate, the things on the end and on the inside. And once again, we'll have blue and purple ones. So that should be pretty easy to do once I remember what those are called. There we go. Excellent. Now, note how I might be able to do it without the polygons. Yeah, let's give that a shot, because it'll save a bit of polygons and we might be able to do it. So, let's do that. So, base, let's put this one on there as well. Base. And yeah, so that's a mess. Smart UV project, much better. So what we want to do, we want to grab all of this and this. We'll just do each one because we're going to straighten each one. So let's go top view, UV, project from view, and then we're going to sort of grab these and just align them. Same with these. Cool. And as you can see, it's already sort of getting that line, which is kind of what we want to do. So let's get that up here and then scale that. Just a little bit more. Could even put like a red edge. Yeah, it's not bad. Or no edge. No edge actually seems to align with the space a bit better. So I'm going to stick with that. Okay. And that's it. So we don't actually, like, I'd maybe want to make it a bit thinner. But yeah, for the sake of this, let's just keep it as is, I think. That's fine. Because okay, let's do both. Let's compare. So in this one, I'm going to actually do a more controlled trim sheet thing, which is basically I want it to be exactly that much. So that's once again Control R to add a loop, and then when we do this, I can have a bit more control, and that's where trim sheets are a little bit different from other things in that you design your asset with both polygons and texture. So in this case, we can just put this here. And here. Why is that not playing nice? Alright, so once again, let's just project that down. Now this one doesn't matter in regards to where it is, it just needs to be in the blue area. So I can just scale that down to there, and that's good. But why? Okay, so the bottom worked, but the top didn't. Alright. So let's try that again. And then we can put this down here. You have a little bit more room to scale elements, which is nice. So I can take up exactly what you want it to on the trim sheet. Got that. So that's the result. And to be honest, this does look better. So, yeah, I guess we have to do it. Now, in this case, let's go 0.8. Nope. 0.9? Nope. Ah, okay. Yeah, that works. And then we can grab those assets. Scale that up. And then we can put these down. Now, if need be, how do I lead this one? So you can't just scale it, because otherwise you'll get that. That said, if I do this, active, individual cursor, local. Nope. Normal gimbal. Gimbal? Nope. Nope. Cursor, which is at the 0. .3D cursor. There we go. So you can adjust that as needed. So I think that looks about right. And then I need to scale that this way. To get that same effect. So it's kind of like 1.5 per block. Why does that? Yeah. Okay. I have an idea, and I'll do that after I get to this one. So, about there-ish. I'm going to do them all at the same time. And see if that improves everything to make it look the same. So, project view. So close, I guess. Yeah. So this time I'm just going to grab all of these, and that will do that as well. So on line Y. Maybe I'll do these ones first. But that's the thing. That works. And then back to this part. And that looks better. Done and done. Right. And do we want... I think we kind of want a yellow loop in here. So, let's do this. Now, another thing you can do, which I use a fair bit, if you click on a polygon and use Control, it will basically try to find the shortest way between those two polygons. So if I did that, it would sort of figure that out. So that's quite useful for that sort of thing. And then I will use plus, plus, plus. And yeah, we'll worry about that later. Now the thing is, we want that to be a straight line. So for that one, we're actually going to have to let's do this. So once again, just using unwrap, or more the point, seam, to help with unwrapping. Because we are lazy. Mark seam. We're also going to need, we need these as well. So let's grab them manually. And hopefully we can just unwrap that. Like so. Cool. The other thing we need to do is sort of grab one of these in a line and then unwrap that one as well. Yeah. Ah! Okay. So now that I have that, unwrap again, and then we have that. So, thankfully, it's already a straight line. And this goes into yellow. So yeah, unwrap's great. But we need to get these in there as well. So let's move those up maybe to there. And what's happening here? Ah. Now, oddly enough, right, so we're going to, well, we're going to do this, because that is a bit of a glitch. So we want that, nope, that, nope, that, that. And then we're just going to go stitch, which gets a bit messy. No, that works. Ah, kind of. Okay. So let's grab some of these islands. Let's move them out of the way for now. And then we can grab this and scale that down. There we go. All right. Now, the last thing we need to do is these ones. So once again, I'm going to use the control to sort of get to them pretty quickly. So control off, shift on to multi-select that, and then you can continue on your way. And again, shift to switch. Alright, so we have those, and These just need to be blue. Or red. Not sure. Maybe red? Red. Yeah, so that's one. So let's save that and see what that looks like in Unity. So that is a 3. What's that one called? Disk fan 3. Now, once again, because these are already in the space, and that fixes that, but it doesn't fix the prefab. So I'm going to go to that, and then apply this here. Once again, general. Where'd you go? There. Done. It's looking much better. Alright, next up, purple. Same thing, and as we know now, it is better to model what we're looking at here. Now, in this case, I'm actually using control to sort of snap that, so that way hopefully it will be more aligned. Cool. All right. Now, once again, we have to do all of that again. Project from view for one. Now let's apply the right material so we can actually do that correctly. What colors do we want? So what do we got? We got blue. We want sort of purple. Should be easy enough to do. Now, another very useful thing that I keep forgetting about, if you do Shift R, it will do whatever you selected last. So if I right mouse click and align Y, and then I can just do things really quickly. And I always forget. I always remember on merging vertices, so merge to last and stuff. But for some reason, I forget that it works on, like, everything. So, please do better than me at that, and it will save you a lot of time. Okay, that's cool. Next up, let's grab these. I want to say purple. So what I'm going to do, because I want that, so I'm just going to go +1, and then I'm going to undo these. Now note when you're selecting, it will always be the dot. So I could do that, and it will only do the ones at the end because it only uses the dot for selection. There are pros and cons to that. This is a con. This bit is a pro. So that's good. Project from view. Grab all that. Scale it down. Doesn't really matter about scale as long as it is purple. Now, do we want the inside to be a different color? No, I think the yellow is good. I think I'm going to keep that, actually. So, once again, let's do what we did, because that actually worked really well. What did I do? So it was UV map, so I needed to select all of these ones. All of the bottom ones as well. These were also selected. And mark scene. Cool. And then we sort of grabbed the interior. Plus, and then grab these. With unwrap. Yeah, that's fine. We can grab that and then mark scene that one. Want to make those are all selected, which they are. Unselect that. Everything else that is not selected goes away. And then we can do that again for that reason. Rotate, and I think we wanted yellow again, so let's do that. Export that one, and then we're good. Disk fan 4, and that we have to look at the parent as well. I'm going to apply it on the model just to be thorough, I guess you could say. But then go into the prefab, which is this one. Sure. And then edit this one. Done. That looks great. Okay. So basically we have a fully colored space, which is great. The last thing we need to do is this. Now these are just boxes, so I probably should create a whole new area with that, because I want like the lines and stuff to be there, so I might need to do that. and create like a proper one, so I'll model that in another one. But the one thing I do want to do, and for that I'll probably just focus on that before wrapping up, is the what do you call it? The 360 view. And I need to watch a tutorial for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some lighting with this to get rid of that mostly. Now those are rotated. Yeah, no, that's fine. And then is static off on those? No. So we're going to save that, because last time I didn't. That was messy. Okay, so what I might actually also do is add some more reflection probes. So these glass things look a little better when done. Now, when I run into the second section, I want a new reflection probe. So I'm going to duplicate that. And put that there. Now, if you have two reflection probes that overlap each other, they will transition. So if I have the character in this, and it goes from this box to this box, it will transition between those 2 points, which is a really nice effect. So really good. And then, once again, just duplicate that to there, and duplicate that. And we kind of want that to reflect pretty much to the point where you, like, the character won't really see any of this again. So that's good. So these will be moving, but we do want them reflected. So I'm actually going to get this and then go static, reflection probe, static. So they're still dynamic objects that will animate, and we don't really want them to occlude, I don't think. But we do want them in these reflection probes. So that's the way to do that, basically. And then let's bake all of these. So you've got that. So when I'm in that, this is the reflection probe that will be in place. Now notice how these have the blue, but this doesn't. And that is because these, once again, don't have the reflection probe static. So I'll add these all to this. Go through these again. So, you know, that one does have the material, because I set that from last week for this one, but this side doesn't. But if I bake that again, they will now be there, because I added that one element. Now, these are all very small, 128. The clarity shouldn't worry too much. And you've got that as well, because once again, those are in. Now, if I do the lighting, all of those will be automatically done. You don't have to sort of set them every single time. So just keep that in mind. So, tutorial time. Tutorial. I'm gonna put it on my thing because, like, if I'm light mapping, I can't do anything. So let me see. YouTube. This is the technical version of. And what am I doing? 360 panorama. in Blender. Okay, so I'm gonna watch that really quick while I render. Render this and don't do anything. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna mute this. So yeah, let's give that a shot. Okay. So our green light's gone. These should be updated to not include the green. There we go. Excellent. So we have that. Now, I'm now knowledgeable in 360-degree renders in Blender. So let's give it a shot. I have no idea if this is going to work. So this is purely a test. But what we need to do, I now know, is I'm going to create a new collection and do this 360 view and then just hide that. Now we need a camera, so add camera. Let's put the rotation at 0, 0, 0, 0, I guess, and rotate that way. I don't think it really matters which one, but as long as that's sort of like straight. Now the big thing here is panoramic, but it did change one thing, and I'm not sure what that is. Oh, it's keyframe, okay. So I'm gonna have to look into that. And we'll see how that goes. Where was it? I'll have to check that. But basically what I want is to create sort of like fluffy clouds to make a really toon shaded environment. So for that, I'm actually just going to place a bunch of UV spheres, make them smooth, and sort of create that effect. Now we want new, let's get the material and make this white. So for that, let's do a quick test. The other thing is, like, say we could use this as a guide, and then go into Photoshop and just make it by hand. So that's kind of what we want to do. So we can do that as well. Let's give it a shot. Okay, that's interesting. So a couple of things. We need this to be double. So let's go 2048 by 1024. Supposedly everything else is the same. I am missing one thing on the camera, and I'm not sure what that might be, so I'm gonna have to look at let's go cycles, and GPU. I'm gonna see where they tweaked that one thing to make it work. Let's see how that goes. What is all of that? I pressed that. I'm pretty sure I pressed that. Okay, so there's going to be no audio for who knows how long. So I apologize for that. It's the second. Okay, yeah. So I'll do a quick summary of that again. Idiot. E.g. me. What I said, and maybe I'll edit it out. I could probably do that in YouTube. So, the plan is, with this space, I'm going to make the start running point, so that the gates open and close. So everyone sort of runs together. So that makes it a proper race. I don't know how long to make that race. Or make the gate open, or maybe I just won't have it and people can like run their own. So that's one approach. So it depends on how much of a game I want to make this and how much I just want to make it do whatever you want. So the start, I could make a reactor so that turns it on and off so people can sort of choose. So that's an option. The other element is the end. I want to make a sort of a nicer finish point. So first, second, and third place with a reset button. And then I do want to make the seesaws purple with a red gap between them. So once again, you've got sort of red and yellow, purple and blue, red and yellow, purple and blue, red and yellow, purple and blue, all the way along. That way, that defines the interactive or... yeah, basically the interactive areas a bit better. I also might steal my particle from the playground, like the Mona playground, and put them on this, because I think that looks really good. And yeah, there's that. So, let's build that, actually, and get that up on the playground so people can play. And with that done... and you can hear me. I'm going to call that done. I'm going to probably... yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with that part that didn't work. I apologize for that. But yeah. Maybe I'll just be quiet rather than turn things off when I'm trying to listen to something. So, yeah. Sorry. And sound. I want... oh, really? Oops. And sound for those. I do want to put that in there as well. I think that'll be good. I don't know. All of them, so that's fine. No! How do I not know this? This is a weird thing. Oh, those look good. Excellent. But yeah, I could certainly add something. Go, 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 go. Yeah. These look nice too. Go, go, go. No, yeah, no, that's good. Yay, I'm the winner. And reset. So what I believe will happen soonish is I will get reset, theoretically, like so. So that kind of works really well. I don't know if that resets, actually. I should check that as well. But yeah, so that's the space. I'll put that online, and people can play it. So that'll be fun. Just to go through that. So sign into your Monaverse wallet. Click on a draft. And once you have the draft, you can Update your playground files. I can get rid of that one. Upload. And then we're good to go. Now, to make it a Hangout link, basically hit escape to go into mouse, host a Hangout. And then post that in... I've noticed that you host a Hangout may not give you the link in the thing, so you can either grab that or you can grab share, invite coded, and then you can paste that in the Discord or anywhere else you want. So that's it. Now let's make a super quick preview. So it's not. Now the catch with the skybox thing is it will have that blue line. I think there is a way to get around that, so I'm gonna look at that. But let's just grab this. Alt print screen. I'm going to go new. Do that. And then we're sort of just gonna do that for now. I will actually sort of stamp this out though. I also feel that I may need to do the resolution, because that's like a pretty obvious. That said, it's a pretty simple PNG, so that should be able to be done. So yeah, let's export that. Let's just call this one splash screen. And then we can put that on our wallet as well, which is in builds, Fallguys, assets, add your art, textures, splash screen. Ooh, what size is it? Image size. 1920 by 1080. Better. So I'm gonna have to do that again. No, that's fine. Yep. Edit. So once again, 1920 by 1080. No avatar, desktop, or Mona in the splash screen, and the preview render for that matter. And that preview image will be what is when you load it, sort of thing. So there's that. So if I do preview, there is our image that we just uploaded. So there we go. All right, I will leave it there for now. Once again, sorry about the audio issue. I got to be better at that. I don't usually turn them off, so that's probably why that happened. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. Catch you later. Have a good day. Bye.